There's a moment that happens in elevators, parties, even family gatherings. Someone smiles and asks, "So, what's new?" And instantly, something in you switches off. Not because you hate people, not because you don't know how to talk, but because that question feels strangely hollow. Here's the unsettling truth most people never hear. People who hate small talk often aren't socially awkward at all. In fact, many of them are deeply perceptive, emotionally intelligent, and capable of intense connection. So why does casual conversation feel so uncomfortable? Why does silence feel safer than polite chatter? And why do these people often feel misunderstood, like something is wrong with them? The answer has less to do with personality and more to do with how their brain is wired for meaning. Small talk didn't evolve to be interesting. It evolved to be safe. Psychologists describe it as a social bonding mechanism, a way to reduce uncertainty between strangers. Neutral topics like weather or work signal, "I'm not a threat." For many people, this works. Their nervous system relaxes. The interaction feels smooth. But for others, something different happens. Research on need for cognition, a well-established psychological trait, shows that some people naturally seek depth, patterns, and meaning. Their brains are stimulated by ideas, emotions, and complexity. So when a conversation stays surface level, their brain doesn't register connection, it registers absence. Not boredom, not impatience, but a subtle sense of disconnection. And the longer the conversation stays shallow, the stronger that feeling becomes. Here's the part most people misunderstand. Small talk isn't neutral for everyone. For some, it's mentally taxing. Why? Because it requires social performance. You're expected to react a certain way, ask predictable questions, express interest on cue. Studies on emotional labor show that when outward behavior doesn't match inner experience, stress-related brain systems activate. In simple terms, pretending costs energy. That's why small talk can feel exhausting even if nothing negative happens. The brain keeps waiting for substance, for relevance, emotion, or insight, but it never arrives. So the mind slowly checks out as a form of self-protection, not because it dislikes people, but because it's conserving mental resources. This is where the common explanation falls apart. Hating small talk does not mean you're introverted. Many people who dislike it are confident speakers, expressive storytellers, even charismatic leaders, when the conversation has depth. The real difference is something psychologists call communication orientation. Some people are transactional communicators, others are meaning-oriented communicators. Transactional conversation exchanges information. Meaning-oriented conversation explores values, experiences, emotions, and ideas. That's why someone might seem quiet in a group, then suddenly come alive discussing identity, childhood, morality, or purpose. Their silence wasn't insecurity, it was selectivity. And that selectivity often comes with a cost. For depth-oriented people, small talk can trigger a subtle sense of inauthenticity. Not because anyone is lying, but because the interaction doesn't align with their inner state. Psychological research on authenticity shows that people feel most regulated when their external behavior matches their internal experience. Small talk disrupts that alignment. You're expressing curiosity without curiosity, interest without interest, connection without presence. Over time, this creates an unconscious association. Conversation equals effort, not reward. So silence starts to feel safer than speaking, not because they're cold, but because silence doesn't demand performance. Here's the twist. People who hate small talk often crave deep connection more intensely than most. Studies on relationship satisfaction consistently show that perceived depth, not frequency of interaction, is what predicts closeness for these individuals. They don't want many connections, they want real ones. That's why they may have fewer friends, but unusually strong bonds. Why they open slowly, but deeply. why they seem distant until suddenly they're not. They're waiting for a signal, a question that goes off script, a moment of emotional honesty, a sign that the conversation can go somewhere meaningful. When that signal never comes, they retreat, not out of disinterest, but self-preservation.
So if you hate small talk, this isn't a flaw, it's a clue. You're not antisocial, you're not broken, you're not difficult. You're wired for depth in a world optimized for speed. And the moment you stop forcing yourself into conversations that drain you and start honoring the kind that energize you, connection stops feeling exhausting. It starts feeling real. And if this felt uncomfortably accurate, you already understand why.